Hey, welcome back. Today we're jumping into James Robbins' incredible allegory, The Call to Climb. It's this powerful story about making that journey from a life that just feels off to a life filled with purpose. So let's get right into it.
So, right off the bat, the story doesn't start with some big action scene. Nope. It kicks off with this really mysterious invitation. It kind of frames the whole journey ahead as something that was meant to be, like an appointment that's been waiting for the main character, and maybe for all of us.
So, who is this appointment for? Well, let me introduce you to Riley. He's a character that probably feels pretty familiar to a lot of us. He's stuck in a job that, yeah, it pays the bills, but he feels like it's just chipping away at his soul. He's feeling lost, and he has no idea that a massive crisis is literally right around the corner. But here's the twist. What feels like the absolute end of the world is actually just the beginning of his real journey. The book reframes this whole crisis not as some disaster, but as the very first critical stage, a summons of the soul. So first, a huge deal at his job just completely collapses. Then, his boss totally humiliates me in front of everyone. And the final straw? His car dies, leaving him completely stranded. But get this, the book says this isn't just a string of bad luck. It's actually a perfectly orchestrated series of events, almost like nudges, all designed to force him off the path he's on. And it's when he's stranded that he meets this mentor character, Santiago, who completely flips the script on what Riley thinks is the worst day ever. He tells him that these moments, the dissatisfaction, the crises, they aren't the problem. They're actually signals. They're nudges from your soul trying to get your attention, trying to tell you that the life you're living is out of alignment with the life you were really meant for. And this whole idea of alignment, well, that kicks off the central conflict of the entire story. It's this internal battle that really takes place inside all of us, the ego versus the soul. The book breaks this down really simply. You've got two opposing forces inside you. On one side, you have the ego. That's our social self. It wants safety, it wants comfort, and it craves the approval of other people. Its main goal is just to fit in. But on the other side, you have the soul. That's our authentic self. It couldn't care less about fitting in. It's on a hunt for meaning, for purpose, and for its own unique path. And this right here is the core challenge, isn't it? If you want to follow your soul, you have to choose being authentic over getting approval. It often means you've got to go against the grain, defy what everyone expects of you, and step away from what feels like the safety of the crowd. Like Santiago says, it can be risky business. So, if our soul is pulling us in one direction, why does the ego have such a powerful grip on us? Well, the book says the answer lies deep, deep beneath the surface, in what it calls our programs beneath the ice. To explain this, Santiago literally guides Riley into a glacial ice cave. And this is just this amazing metaphor for the subconscious mind. Think about it. Just like a glacier holds all these ancient memories of the past trapped deep inside its layers, our subconscious holds this massive archive of all of our life's experiences and beliefs. In all those accumulated experiences, they create what the book calls subconscious programs. You can think of them like invisible scripts, or maybe the default settings on your phone. They're these stories that we've absorbed throughout our lives that are now running things on autopilot, completely beneath our conscious awareness. And this leads to a really piercing question, not just for Riley in the story, but for you, for me, for anyone listening to this. Are you consciously choosing the life you want to live? Or are you just kind of acting out a life you've been programmed to live? And that's exactly why digging into these programs is so critical, because the story makes a chilling point. If a program stays unconscious, if you have no idea what hidden story is driving your behavior, then that program becomes your master. It will call the shots, it'll make your choices for you, and run your life without you even knowing it. Okay, so if we're all running on these hidden programs, how the heck do we take back the controls? How do we stop being slaves to our own programming? Well, this brings us to the really actionable part of the journey, living an examined life. The book lays out this really clear 4-step process. It all starts with step 1, see the pattern. You just notice your repetitive behaviors, but with curiosity, not judging yourself. Then, step 2, you ask, what's the payoff? What hidden reward or benefit am I getting from this pattern? That question leads you right to step 3, uncover the hidden story, the deep subconscious belief that's driving that whole pattern. And once you've dragged that old story into the light, you can finally do step 4, write a new story, consciously creating a new belief that actually aligns with your soul. You see, The whole point of this process is about one thing: awareness. It's about taking what's hidden in the darkness of your subconscious and bringing it out into the conscious light. Because once you can see the program, you can interrupt it. You can make a new choice, one that's actually aligned with your soul, not some outdated script from your past. And when you start making choices that are aligned with your soul, you're not just changing a few old habits, you're actually pursuing the ultimate goal of the entire climb: finding your true north. The story offers this really profound redefinition of what purpose is. It argues that purpose is not a job title or a role you play or some task you have to complete. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. It's the most honest, most authentic expression of your true self. It's a way of being. And that leads us to this final, super empowering takeaway. You do not need to wait for anyone to give you permission to live an authentic life. It is not something you ask for, it's something you have to seize for yourself. So in the end, the call to climb leaves us with this powerful invitation, reframing our entire life's journey with this one central metaphor. It asks us to see our challenges not as roadblocks, but as the very terrain of our own personal climb. The mountain is calling, the only question left is, are you ready to climb?